Have you ever found yourself scrolling endlessly through social media, watching one short video after another, only to look up and realize hours have vanished? You had plans, goals, things you wanted to achieve today, but your motivation seems to have evaporated into thin air. This isn't a failure of willpower or a sign of laziness. It's a sign that your brain's reward system might be hijacked. Today, we're diving deep into the neuroscience of motivation. We'll explore how the constant flood of easy, or cheap, dopamine from our digital world is silently eroding our drive to pursue meaningful, long-term goals. More importantly, I'm going to give you a powerful, step-by-step 7-day protocol to perform a dopamine detox. This isn't about deprivation, it's about resetting your brain's reward circuitry so you can reclaim your focus, your energy, and your ambition. Let's start with the star of our show, dopamine. Often misunderstood as the pleasure molecule, dopamine is more accurately the motivation molecule. It's the chemical messenger in your brain that says, "Hey, that's important. Pay attention and go get it." It's the force that drove our ancestors to seek food, find partners, and discover new territories. Dopamine works on a system of anticipation and reward. When you're working towards a goal, your brain releases a steady, low level of dopamine, which feels like drive and focus. When you finally achieve that goal, whether it's finishing a difficult project, completing a workout, or solving a complex problem, your brain gives you a satisfying spike of dopamine. This reinforces the behavior, teaching your brain that the effort was worth it. This system is beautifully designed for a world of delayed gratification. But we don't live in that world anymore. We live in a world of instant gratification. Social media feeds, streaming services, and endless online content offer an unending firehose of what we call cheap dopamine. Every notification, every like, every funny video, every new post delivers a tiny, unearned spike of dopamine. It's quick, it's easy, and it requires zero effort. Your brain, in its efficiency, starts to prefer these easy wins. Why would it motivate you to spend hours working on a challenging task for a potential future reward, when it can get an instant hit right now just by opening an app? This creates a dangerous cycle. The more cheap dopamine you consume, the higher your baseline becomes. Your brain's dopamine receptors start to downregulate, meaning you need more and more stimulation to feel the same level of satisfaction or even just to feel normal. Things that used to be enjoyable, like reading a book, going for a walk, or having a deep conversation, start to feel dull and boring. Your motivation for long-term goals plummets because the anticipated reward of finishing them can't compete with the instant gratification available at your fingertips. You feel restless, unfocused, and constantly seeking the next quick hit. This is the state of being overstimulated and undermotivated. But the good news is, your brain is incredibly adaptable. You can reverse this process. You can reset your brain's sensitivity to dopamine and restore your natural drive for success. The tool to do this is a dopamine detox. The term might sound intense, but the principle is simple. For a set period, you intentionally abstain from high dopamine, low-effort activities to allow your brain's reward system to recalibrate. It's like letting your palate recover from overly sugary foods so you can once again appreciate the natural sweetness of a fresh strawberry. You're retraining your brain to find joy and motivation in activities that truly matter. So, are you ready to take back control? Here's your 7-day dopamine detox protocol to reset your brain for success. This protocol has 3 levels of difficulty: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Be honest with yourself about where you are right now and choose the level that feels challenging but achievable. The goal is to succeed, not to set yourself up for failure. Let's outline the rules that apply to all levels. For the next 7 days, you will completely avoid the following high dopamine sources: social media apps, video streaming platforms, online news feeds, and any form of passive digital entertainment. Now, let's break down the levels. For the beginner level, your goal is to drastically reduce your exposure. You are allowed 1 hour per day, scheduled in advance, for these activities. For example, you can check your feeds from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., but outside of that window, it's off limits. For the intermediate level, you're cutting it down even further. You get 30 minutes per day, scheduled in advance. This forces you to be highly intentional about what you consume. No mindless scrolling allowed. For the advanced level, or the monk mode, this is the ultimate reset. For 7 days, you will have zero access to these platforms. Zero. It's a complete digital fast from these specific sources of cheap dopamine. This level provides the fastest and most profound results. Now, you're probably thinking, what am I supposed to do with all that free time? This is the most critical part of the detox. You're not just removing the bad, you're actively replacing it with the good. You will fill your time with natural, effortful, and rewarding activities. Here's a list of approved activities for your detox week. Write a journal. Go for long walks in nature. Read physical books, especially nonfiction or classic literature. Engage in a creative hobby like drawing, painting, or learning a musical instrument. Exercise every single day. It doesn't have to be intense, a simple bodyweight workout or a jog will do. Spend quality time, face-to-face, with friends and family. Practice meditation or mindfulness to train your focus. Cook a new, healthy recipe from scratch. Plan your week, your day, and your goals. Organize your living space, clean your room, or tackle that decluttering project you've been putting off. The feeling of accomplishment from these tasks provides healthy, earned dopamine. Let's walk through the 7-day journey. Day 1, the initial shock. This will likely be the hardest day. You'll feel bored, restless, and your brain will scream for its usual fix. You'll instinctively reach for your phone. This is the withdrawal. Acknowledge the feeling, but don't give in. Force yourself to engage in one of the approved activities. Go for a walk, read a chapter of a book, just get through the day. Days 2 and 3, the peak of discomfort. The cravings will still be strong. You might feel irritable or even a bit low. This is a sign that your brain is beginning the recalibration process. Your dopamine receptors are starting to wonder where their constant stimulation went. Stay strong. This is when the rewiring truly begins. Double down on your replacement activities. Connect with a friend, complete a workout, and cook yourself a nourishing meal. Days 4 and 5, the fog lifts. You'll start to notice a shift. The intense cravings will subside. You'll find that you can focus for longer periods. A conversation will feel more engaging. A book will seem more interesting. The world will start to appear more vibrant and detailed. You're beginning to resensitize your brain to natural rewards. Days 6 and 7, the new baseline. By now, you should feel a remarkable difference. Your mood will be more stable, your energy levels higher, and your mind clearer. You'll feel a renewed sense of agency and control. The idea of mindlessly scrolling might even seem unappealing. You've started to build a new baseline where motivation comes from within, not from an external feed. Congratulations, you've completed the 7-day detox. But the journey doesn't end here. The goal isn't to live like a monk forever. It's to reintegrate technology into your life in a mindful, intentional way. After your detox, don't just jump back into old habits. Create a new set of rules for yourself. Schedule specific, limited times for social media. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Be the master of your devices, not the other way around. Continue to prioritize the healthy, effortful activities you discovered during your detox week. Make them a non-negotiable part of your daily life. This is how you protect your newfound focus and motivation for the long term. You have the power to reshape your brain's reward system. You can trade the fleeting highs of cheap dopamine for the deep, lasting satisfaction of pursuing and achieving what truly matters to you. Take on this 7-day challenge. It's more than just a break from your phone, it's an investment in your focus, your productivity, and your future success. If you found this guide helpful and want more strategies to build an unshakable mindset, make sure to subscribe to Motivational Repo. We're committed to giving you the tools you need to build a disciplined and successful life.